The Gallimimus is one of the most innocent dinosaurs to be present within the first Jurassic Park film, most commonly conveyed on screen as a form of prey and never the predator. The Gallimimus was a genus of theropod dinosaur which lived during the late Cretaceous period, so about 100 million years ago. It was estimated that the Gallimimus could run at around 43 miles per hour, and they were estimated to weigh approximately 970 pounds. The Gallimimus, despite commonly being conveyed as a herbivore, was in fact an omnivore, so this meant that not only did it eat the greenery that we expected, but it did actually have some carnivorous traits, although these are not as traditional as other dinosaurs. So whereas other dinosaurs may be predators who would hunt smaller animals as prey, the Gallimimus would not have ever eaten other dinosaurs, but rather would have eaten small animals like insects and lizards, in addition to eggs and plant material. The Gallimimus was essentially, for lack of a better word, a chicken, in terms of the fact that it was very agile, very quick, very nimble, and not really a massive threat towards any of the other fauna which really made up the Cretaceous period. So that has been episode 1 of Return to Jurassic Park. Throughout this series we will be looking at the different dinosaurs from Jurassic Park as they appear in Jurassic World Evolution for our Dino Facts Friday series. So do make sure you come back next Friday for episode 2, where we will break down the beautiful hadrosaur known as Parasaurolophus. Up until then guys, thanks for checking this video out and have a great week. The Parasaurolophus has become a mainstay within the Jurassic franchise, with that iconic lake scene from the first Jurassic Park film earning the dinosaur a special spot within the hearts of Jurassic fans. Parasaurolophus was a genus of herbivorous ornithopod which lived during the late Cretaceous period. Fossils from this dinosaur were found in Alberta, Utah, and New Mexico. The dinosaur was neither a quadruped or a theropod, but instead was able to alternate between 2 and 4 legs depending on the necessity. This dinosaur was believed to be around 9.5 meters in length and would have weighed around 2.7 tons. The defining feature of the Parasaurolophus is its unique curved crest, which is a defining feature found on the dinosaur's head. Scientists have debated the purpose of this crest for many years, but currently it is believed that this was used to help the Parasaurolophus identify males and females, in addition to increasing their hearing ability, whilst also allowing the dinosaur to better regulate its temperature. So, the crest currently is believed to have been multifunctional, although there is absolutely nothing saying that this may not change again in the future, as scientists continue to uncover more fossils of the Parasaurolophus and learn more about this great dinosaur. A Parasaurolophus head, complete with the crest, can be seen in London's Natural History Museum, the location which we visited for the first Jurassic World Evolution community meetup, and the location which we will be heading to in the second meetup this October. Thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Return to Jurassic Park. Make sure to come back for episode 3 next week, where we break down the ever iconic Ceratopsian, the Triceratops. Thanks for watching guys. As always, take care and have a great week. One of the most prominent dinosaurs within the original 1993 cinematic interpretation of Jurassic Park, we first meet the Triceratops when our group of heroes stumble upon Jerry Harding treating the dinosaur in a field, ill after it had consumed what is later discovered to be West Indian lilac berries. Triceratops itself was a genus of herbivorous ceratopsian, which lived during the late Cretaceous period. As the name would imply, Triceratops is most well known for the 3 horns which adorn the crest of the dinosaur's head, giving it the unique tri-pattern of horns for which it is so aptly named. Now, the Triceratops was a quadruped, and it was approximately 9 meters in length, and interestingly enough, this dinosaur would have weighed approximately 5,500 kilograms. So if you were to compare that to a modern day creature, that is more than the weight of 2 white rhinos combined. So this was a really, really heavy dinosaur, really the rhino of the Cretaceous era, if you like. The dinosaur's diet would have mainly consisted of palm fronds, and the dinosaur's mouth consisted of rugged shearing teeth, which were designed to chew through these tough fronds that the dinosaur would have consumed. The Triceratops is famously known to have moved in herds, and fossils recovered from the animal show that it tended to find conflict with the Tyrannosaurus, something which fans of Jurassic Park Operation Genesis will be particularly familiar with. Join me for the next episode of Return to Jurassic Park next week, where in episode 4 we will look at one of the largest dinosaurs to ever appear within the Jurassic Park series, the Brachiosaurus. Thanks as always for tuning in to another Dino Facts Friday. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode on the Triceratops, and make sure you go and check out the London Natural History Museum website, where a lot of the information for today's episode has been sourced from. Take care, guys, and have a great week. Few dinosaurs deserve the title of Towering Titan more so than the legendary Brachiosaurus, one of prehistory's great long-necked sauropods which would have fed from the highest of treetops. Living within the late Jurassic period, the Brachiosaurus was a herbivorous dinosaur which held its head high and was likely to feast upon the leaves on tall, tree-like plants which form the landscape of a late Jurassic world. This sauropod was a colossal 32 meters in length and was believed to weigh up to 62 tons, which is over 56,000 kilograms. This dinosaur was enormous in every sense of the word, and would dwarf every creature which is part of the modern animal kingdom. The Brachiosaurus was a quadruped dinosaur, walking on all 4 legs to support its heavy weight. Scientists estimate that the dinosaur ate as much as 400 kilograms of plants in a single day, emphasizing how the diet of this creature was gigantic to truly match its scale. An icon of prehistory, the Brachiosaurus has earned its place within the Jurassic franchise and has tugged on many heartstrings not only in the first film, but in the recent debut of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Join me next week as we look at another icon from the original Jurassic Park, the Dilophosaurus. Iconic for its spine-tingling display of dominance, with its large frills and the ability to spit venom, the Dilophosaurus is undoubtedly one of the scariest dinosaurs to feature within the original Jurassic Park. The dinosaur, however, was rather different to its portrayal in the first film. The Dilophosaurus was a carnivorous theropod, the film got that much right, and this particular dinosaur lived during the early Jurassic period, so this really is one of the few dinosaurs for a Jurassic Park. Weighing in at 300 kilograms and just 6 meters in length, the Dilophosaurus would have been rather larger than its appearance within Jurassic Park, towering over a human. Dilophosaurus was believed to be an incredibly fast-moving and agile dinosaur, featuring a kink in its upper jaw which may have been used for attacking and holding on to prey. Interestingly enough, This feature of the dinosaur is something which is not too dissimilar to a feature which can be found within many modern crocodiles, suggesting that in fact dinosaurs are not only related to birds, but perhaps in some aspect they do share some features with crocodiles as well. Jurassic Park does unfortunately deviate from scientific accuracy with its depiction of the creature. However, as there is actually no evidence that this dinosaur could spit poison within any of its fossil records. Furthermore, there is actually no evidence that the creature would have had the beautiful frill we see within the original film. Whilst the dinosaur did have the thin, bony crest it is depicted with on its head, these were most likely just for display, similar to something like the Ceratosaurus or the Allosaurus. Whilst inaccurate within the first film, the Dilophosaurus was just as deadly as the portrayal within the film suggests, and this is a dinosaur which fans of all ages really want to see make a return in Jurassic World 3. Join me next week when we look at another iconic and deadly dinosaur, the Velociraptor. The iconic clever girl of Jurassic Park, who broke out of containment, killed Robert Muldoon and Ray Arnold, and wreaked havoc on Isla Nublar, was very different to her portrayal within the film. Today, we will dive deep and consider one of the most iconic dinosaurs within the franchise, the Velociraptor. The Velociraptor was a small carnivorous theropod at a tiny 1.8 meters in length. This dinosaur would have weighed just 7 kilograms and would have been a small but deadly dinosaur which would have feasted on other animals thanks to its sharp and pointed teeth. The dinosaur would have had sickle claws, as seen within the original Jurassic Park model, but it was believed to be very different than its on-screen portrayal, featuring a fine feather-like covering which is more in line with scientists' modern understanding of dinosaurs. In truth, the dinosaur we see within the Jurassic Park series is twice the actual size of the Velociraptor, given a little bit of movie magic to make the creature more intimidating and more fitting for the needs of the film. This is more akin to one of the Velociraptor's distant relatives, the Deinonychus, and shares some similarities with the more recently discovered Utah raptor. London's Natural History Museum features 2 smaller-scale animatronics of the Deinonychus, which is what the Velociraptor in Jurassic Park is believed to be based upon, and I really recommend going and checking them out if you are a UK Jurassic fan. With 6 dinosaurs down, we have 1 dinosaur left to look at, the icon of the entire Jurassic Park franchise. Join me next week for the final instalment of the first series of Dino Facts Fridays, as I look at arguably the most iconic dinosaur in any paleo history, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. For the final part in my Return to Jurassic Park series, it seemed fitting to finish with the iconic dinosaur which has defined the Jurassic franchise and continues to be a key player in the franchise to this date. I am, of course, talking about the iconic queen of Isla Nublar, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. A large carnivorous theropod, the Tyrannosaurus was 12 meters in length and weighed approximately 7,000 kilograms. The Tyrannosaurus was a vicious predator from the late Cretaceous period, with its jaw featuring 60 individual saw-edged teeth designed to crush the bones of any prey which happened to fall helplessly in its way. Each Tyrannosaurus tooth was 8 inches long, providing 3 times the bite force than that of a modern-day lion. Fossilized remains of dinosaurs which fell prey to this awesome predator suggest that the Tyrannosaur could tear through bones, crunching through them and swallowing them alongside the rest of its prey. Some scientific research which is out there suggests that the Tyrannosaurus may have been feathered. However, this is still widely debated. However, at the time, the Tyrannosaurus within Jurassic Park was a pretty decent rendition of the iconic hunter. Features such as the unique head and the short, and many would argue useless, arms were accurately recreated on the animatronic which was utilised in Jurassic Park. It is safe to say that this predator posed a colossal threat to all who crossed its path. That epic scale makes it the perfect, if terrifying, animal to end our return to Jurassic Park Dino Facts series on. What did you all think of Series 1 of Dino Fact Fridays? Do make sure to let me know in the comments below, and equally let me know if you would like to see more in the future. As always, thanks for the support with this series, guys. It's been a blast making it, and I really hope that you have learned something interesting from Dino Fact Fridays. Mamenchisaurus is one of the most eye-catching dinosaurs to inhabit the factory floor of Isla Sorna. Mamenchisaurus is well known for its enormous neck, which makes up half the length of the dinosaur's body. A unique sauropod from the late Jurassic period, Mamenchisaurus is often outshone by its relative, the Brachiosaurus, despite being a unique sauropod in its own right. The dinosaur originated in China and is believed to have been 46 feet tall and 116 feet in length. This dinosaur is also believed to have weighed 30 tons, 2.5 times as heavy as the anchor on a cruise ship. This dinosaur was herbivorous and would have swallowed a huge amount of plant material to help support its truly mammoth scale. It is believed that only 4 of this dinosaur were created for Isla Sorna, and the dinosaur was never planned to appear at the park on Isla Nublar. Despite her less prominent appearance within the Lost World, the Mamenchisaurus is a truly majestic creature, and is the perfect start for Season 2 of Dino Fact Fridays. Join us next week for Episode 2, where we look at the iconic Stegosaurus. Whenever you ask somebody to name a herbivorous dinosaur, one of the first names that always seems to come to mind is likely to be Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus would have roamed the plains of what is now North America during the late Jurassic period, making this a true dinosaur of a Jurassic Park. The dinosaur was, as we have already mentioned, a herbivore, and would have scavenged its food from the low-growing plant matter of the time. This dinosaur would have been approximately 13 feet tall, 30 feet long, and would have weighed approximately 3.4 tons. Its name means roofed lizard, hinting at the unique plates which adorn its back and head. There are many different theories on what these plates would have done, with some of the most prevalent being that they were a form of thermoregulation used to either heat or cool the dinosaur. There have, however, been many other debates, with some scientists suggesting that they may have been used in mating displays, or even to potentially ward off would-be predators who were present at the time. With strong musculature and sharp spikes adorning its tail, it is safe to say that this is one herbivorous dinosaur which can hold its own against the other dinosaurs on the factory floor. Join us next Friday when we look at one of the more unique dinosaurs to have been uncovered, the Pachycephalosaurus. Pachycephalosaurus is well regarded for causing problems on the factory floor, with its thick crest of bone often damaging InGen's expensive monitoring equipment. This dinosaur itself lived during the late Cretaceous period of what is now known as North America, with remains from the dinosaur having been uncovered in Montana, South Dakota, and also Wyoming. This dinosaur's scientific name quite literally means thick-headed lizard, something which is quite appropriate when we consider the key characteristics of this dinosaur when compared with its peers. This dinosaur is believed to have weighed 3,000 kilograms and is also believed to have been around 8 meters in length. The dinosaur itself was a herbivorous creature, and scientists theorized that this dinosaur would have lived on a mixed diet of leaves, seeds, and fruits. Remains recovered from the Pachycephalosaurus have suggested that the dinosaur's skull roof may have been up to 10 inches thick. It is believed that this thick skull was used as an anti-predator weapon against the vicious predator Tyrannosaurus, with the Pachycephalosaurus often flanking this apex predator to cause injury and escape unscathed. There are many theories out there about this dinosaur, with a prevalent one being from Jack Horner, who suggests that Stygimoloch, Dracorex, and Pachycephalosaurus may have been the same dinosaur at different stages in its life cycle. Until this is proven concretely, however, the Pachycephalosaurus remains an independent animal by its own right, and one well deserving of its place in paleohistory. Join us next week when we look at the terror of the skies, Pteranodon. The Pteranodon is a unique genus of pterosaur, a group of animals which included some of the largest and most intimidating flying reptiles to ever inhabit the Earth. Found occupying the skies of the late Cretaceous over what is now North America, these amazing animals have been found in Kansas, Alabama, Nebraska, Wyoming, and South Dakota, meaning they would have inhabited the skies whilst the Pachycephalosaurus we looked at in our last episode would have been on the ground below. The reptile's name means winged and toothless, relating to the fact that pterosaurs used beaks as opposed to teeth, making them much more akin to modern-day birds. Pteranodon is believed to have been around 9.5 feet tall and around 18 feet long, whilst the animal would have weighed in at 70 pounds, making it one of the lighter animals which we have looked at within this series. Surprisingly to some, Pteranodon is a carnivorous creature, although it would have primarily feasted on a diet of fish. That said, the Pteranodon is known to be very aggressive, and this perhaps explains its isolation from the rest of Isla Sorna's factory floor. These animals are aggressive and powerful, and would certainly have been a dominating factor of any late Cretaceous skyline. Come back next week when we go from high up in the sky to right down low, with one of the smallest animals to inhabit the factory floor, the Compsognathus. The Compsognathus is a small bipedal animal which would have lived around 150 million years ago, roaming what is now Europe during the late Jurassic period, with specimens of this dinosaur being found in both France and Germany. Members of the species could grow to around the size of a turkey, but this was still one of the smallest dinosaurs to exist, with a length between just 70 and 140 centimetres. The dinosaur would have had a total mass of just 3 kilograms, making this one of the smallest animals to have roamed any of the prehistoric eras. The dinosaur was carnivorous and would have caught and eaten smaller animals including insects and lizards. Fossilised remains of one Compsognathus have also been found to contain the skeleton of the fast-running lizard Velociraptor, emphasising that this information on this dinosaur's diet is likely to be accurate for the most part. It is theorised by some fiction that Compsognathus may have eaten carcasses, and is also theorised that the dinosaur may have been able to use a pack mentality to take down larger prey. But there is little to no evidence to support this theory beyond whisperings of chance encounters on Isla Sorna's factory floor. A small and nimble dinosaur, the Compsognathus is one dinosaur which you would not want to underestimate. Join us next week when we look at the living tank known as Ankylosaurus. Despite being an illegally cloned addition to the park as of 1999, Ankylosaurus is still one of the most unique additions to Isla Sorna's factory floor. Ankylosaurus is a unique genus of armoured dinosaur, with its name meaning fused lizard, in relation to the fact that bones in its skull and other parts of its body were fused, increasing the ruggedness of this dinosaur. The dinosaur is believed to have lived at the very end of the Cretaceous period, about 66 to 68 million years ago, and would have lived in North America, and is believed to have been one of the last non-avian dinosaurs. The Ankylosaurus would have had a height of 1.7 metres as of adulthood, a length of between 6 and 8 metres as of adulthood, and a weight of around 4,000 kilograms. The Ankylosaurus was a herbivore and would have used grinding teeth to digest various plant material as a part of its diet. The skull of this dinosaur was wide and heavily armoured, and the dinosaur also featured a tail club, which would have most likely been used to defend this creature from predators. Fondly referred to by many as the living tank, it is indisputable that the Ankylosaurus is by far one of the most unique herbivores to have existed. Although it may have been cloned illegally and is shrouded in mystery and intrigue, this dinosaur still earns a special place in the hearts of many on the factory floor. Join us next week when we look at another one of the dinosaurs InGen doesn't want you to know was added to the park, the Coryphosaurus. Another illegally cloned dinosaur which was added to the factory floor under shady circumstances during 1999 is the herbivorous dinosaur Coryphosaurus. Coryphosaurus is a genus of hadrosaurid, and that means that it is duck-billed like the more famous Parasaurolophus, which was a big part of the original Jurassic Park. This dinosaur would have lived in the Upper Cretaceous period between 75.7 and 77 million years ago. It lived in what is now North America, as did many of the additions to Isla Sorna. The dinosaur would have been 10 metres in length and would have had a mass of up to 5,000 kilograms, with its height being 2 metres as measured at the hips. The dinosaur's name means helmet lizard, relating to the unique crest which adorns the head of the Coryphosaurus. The Coryphosaurus was a plant eater and would most likely have enjoyed a diet of pine needles, conifers, seeds, and leaves amongst other plant matter which was available during the period. There is much scientific speculation on what the animal's crest would have been used for, since the crest itself is hollow, meaning it could have been used to enhance vocalization, to cool the creature as a form of thermoregulation, or simply as a form of courtship, like we see in some of the other dinosaurs on Isla Sorna. The Coryphosaurus is a docile addition to the factory floor, and would have likely fallen mercy to the dinosaur which we are looking at next week, the Ceratosaurus.
Remain calm
some of the illegal dinosaurs cloned during the 1999 phase of InGen's experimentation were relatively harmless, but the same cannot be said for the deadly carnivore known as Ceratosaurus. Ceratosaurus was a medium-sized theropod dinosaur which lived during the late Jurassic period. A nearly complete skeleton of this dinosaur was first discovered in 1884 in the Morrison Formation, Colorado, by the American paleontologist Othniel Charles Marsh. The dinosaur was a carnivore believed to prey on Stegosaurus as a part of its diet, and would have also preyed upon other smaller herbivores like Dryosaurus. The dinosaur is outweighed by more fossils of Allosaurus within the Morrison Formation, and so in this regard, the dinosaur is considered rarer within its own right. The dinosaur featured osteoderms along its back, just like a modern-day crocodile, and it is believed that these may have functioned as armour against the other carnivores who hunted across the Jurassic landscape. The feature this dinosaur is well known for are its 3 horns, giving the dinosaur the name of horn lizard. Whilst original theories suggested that this may have been an offensive weapon, more current theories suggest that this may have been part of the mating display for Ceratosaurus. It is safe to say that Ceratosaurus is an intimidating and deadly addition to Isla Sorna's factory floor, but perhaps none is more intimidating than the final dinosaur which we will look at in this series, the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus is without a doubt the most dangerous dinosaur to roam Isla Sorna, with the dinosaur undergoing numerous genetic modifications on the factory floor to hybridize this as a truly aggressive monster. The dinosaur itself has recently made history, as new discoveries have brought into question what we thought we knew about the Spinosaurus. Most recently, bones discovered from a Spinosaurus tail suggest that the dinosaur was, in fact, able to swim, therefore making this the first dinosaur to be known as capable of swimming and feasting on other aquatic reptiles. The prevailing theory with this new discovery is that the thick tail was an extreme adaptation to help the dinosaur navigate the rivers and waterways it called its home, but it poses an interesting look at evolution, as the dinosaur is much better adapted than the similar Suchomimus or Baryonyx. InGen's portrayal of the dinosaur is now dated, with the dinosaur portrayed as a theropod with strong, muscular legs, a short tail, and a sail adorning its back. Whilst the sail and the long crocodilian snout are features which have remained consistent, the tail discovery now calls into question how the rest of the animal may have looked, as it is almost certain that this animal spent a large chunk of time swimming. That doesn't make this dinosaur less of a threat, however, and you will not want to cross this dinosaur on the factory floor, as Henry Wu's genetic enhancements have made this one deadly dinosaur with an aggression index like no other. Join us for our final episode next week, where we say farewell to Site B.
Site B, the factory floor, as I believe many of my staff fondly referred to it as. We chose Isla Sorna because it was a larger island than Isla Nublar, giving us more space to breed and study these animals, sort of like a biological preserve for them, if you like. The aim of these animals would be to study them, to understand the real science behind them, and to use that for the greater good. At least, that was the plan anyway. Of course, Halleck and Clarissa changed all of that for us. And now, Sauna sits abandoned, fences broken, members of staff gone. I dread to imagine what has happened to the facilities there. They were state-of-the-art once, you know. The latest international genetics had to offer. I fear that they may be little more than smoke and ruins now. The last markers for our legacy of death and destruction. And what of the dinosaurs? If I recall correctly, there was a T-Rex, a Coryphosaurus, and many more. Yes, this is just we had a whole ecosystem in place on that island. Many animals brought back from eras past. I wonder if it still is in harmony today, or has life found a way, as Ian Malcolm once put it. Maybe I will have my answers sooner than I expect. Miss Harding will be arriving soon. But, for the time being, I must bid you farewell, Isla Sorna.